Well, this is a game I've been waiting to play for a while. It's a ROM hack of Mega Man 2, where they give you a storyline about the bosses being made into statues. It's actually really deep and interesting. It has you question whether or not killing robots is a viable solution to world crises. And looking at them now, it really makes me realize that in the context of the videos I've done, I've beaten these bosses, several times. Like, twice in Mega Man Wily Wars, if you count 2 and 3. And then 2 and 3... Who cares about that shit? Nobody cares. Because there's a story... I guess we're playing Mega Man 10, because Wily's infecting viruses or something. Thankfully, Mega Man can solve this issue. Well, he's asleep, never mind. But thankfully, Rush and Roll are here to save the day. Roll will stand idly by and be concerned, as she's a female character in a Japanese program. And Rush is a dog, so he will be happy. Thankfully, we have some bosses that can help us. The bosses from Mega Man 2, obviously. We're going to be playing Mega Man Day in the Limelight 2. Brought to you by the same folks who brought Day in the Limelight 1, which, if you don't recall my thoughts on that game, was really, really fucking good. So what do you think I think of this one? Well, clearly this is inferior. I'm lying, of course. We're going to discuss why this game is just as good, if not better. Maybe it's as good, maybe it's... I don't know. It's still really fucking good. That's what needs to be said. And that's... Well, there's more to be said than that, but that's the key point here. I'm not gonna play around and be like, well, you know, maybe this game isn't as good as the no. We're not playing that game. We can watch the intro again if we want, but I'm not gonna bother with that. And then we can... Turn that shit down! Okay, thank you. We'll keep the music about ready. We'll keep the difficulty on normal and the live 7. That's okay. We can load, too. Like, I've got a game that I played earlier, and I could load if I wanted. I'm not going to do that, though. We're going to go back to the thing, and just going to start. We're just going to start. And we're going to start with Snake Man. And if you're paying attention during the intro, you'll get to know who you use in the stages. And that's a nice addition. That's a nice change. I like that. Because... I mean, you didn't really know until you selected the stage who you're going to be fighting in Day in the Limelight. It was a little different. You used the boss portrait of the boss you're playing as. In this one, you use the actual, like, stage. But that's fine, because we're using Airman, and Airman is a bulky son of a bitch. You'd think he'd be hard to control, but he's actually really light. And that's cool. Like, that's a good design. It's good, and his tornadoes, his air shooter, blows enemies whatever direction he's blowing them in. And I'll showcase that a little more. And I wanted to see, I don't know why, I just had this weird inkling that if you, like, shot the tornadoes backwards, it would reflect the bullets at the snakes. I mean, that... Because River Road's little crew, I don't know all their names, I'm sorry. If you're part of his crew, just let me know. I'll give you some props. Don't fucking lie about it, though, or I'll be furious. They do little cool things like that. Like these little, I get these weird, fucking dorky ideas of, man, what if they did this? They usually don't, because who the fuck would have thought of something like that? But usually they do cool stuff like that, and I really like that. They're just these little touches that just, they make this feel like a fresh experience, not like, oh, I'm just playing Mega Man 3, whatever. It just feels really cool. It's a redesign of something old, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means I'm being really sloppy in how I'm playing it. But this room, when you get to an empty room, well, it's not an empty room now, typically that's a good sign you're probably at a halfway point. And they're pretty generous with where you get to restart from, which is really nice. But I do enjoy, there's that little touch. I mean, I'd like some health. That... Oh, fucking eat a dick, game. This is the worst. This is the worst game of the year. But I like the little touch where if you're blowing, whichever direction you're blowing in, if the enemy's trying to run at you, they're running slower. It's just these little touches that make this game really cool. And blowing these green blocks around. I don't even know if those were in the game ever. It doesn't matter. And I like the Hammer Joes being in the stage, too. Because the Hammer Joes are legitimately, like, they look exactly like Airman painted green and with the fan taking it. Fucking snake. And the explosion sounds a little loud. I don't know why. I don't know, like, if I Maybe I should have kept turning that sound down, because that... Maybe it's just me, and I'm thinking too much about it. There are I guess, a couple, like, technical quirks or something, but, like, me running into enemies, that's a really bad quirk. They need to fix that. Version 2.0 needs an enemy avoiding feature. I really think that needed to be implemented, and they really never got that taken care of. But realistically, no, this is a fucking really top-notch game. Aside from Hammer Joes, who are always complete idiots. Yep. We're gonna get rid of this snake this time. No damage. Hell yeah. I knew I could do it. What's this? Cloud generators. I remember these from the original. Why, it's how interesting. You can move the cloud around with your tornadoes. No matter how hefty Airman looks, he can still blow himself around. And you gotta be careful. You don't want to get knocked off the cloud and look silly. I typically prefer to get the enemies out of the room first, and since you can jump onto the screen, you can make it so that the clouds don't generate, but they'll still come at you soon. And since I was blowing those fuckers around, now I kind of screwed up the goddamn timing of the clouds. So now I have to get them out of here. Fucking get them out of here. There we go. Wait, I want to go in that door. I think there's some don't feel right. I want to go in there. I can't just. Let me try getting... I want to jump in there, but when you get on the next screen, it kind of like resets your momentum, so you can't just jump in. So instead I'm going to get these enemies out of the fucking way. And see, there's a little swirly thing. Okay. Whatever, I'll get it. I don't give a hoot. I don't know what it... We'll find out what it does together. Don't be scared. Just because something's unknown doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, dummy. You gotta like it. Give it a try. Try something new tomorrow. See if it's for you. Good idea. Alright. We'll take a cloud up. Make sure you let the cloud come up for you, because if you just try and jump onto that screen, it won't bring the cloud up, and you can't get that E-tank. So really, the game's benefiting you. Like, all you have to do is just take the steps that it's clearly showing you how to do, and you get rewarded. Don't fucking try and get all smart with the game like, oh, I can figure you out, because come on now. I mean, you can go exploring, trying to find those swirls, but come on, dog. Just do what's asked, and be reasonable about it. You'll find all sorts of rewards. And I like how this Airman stage is designed. Like, everything feels like a bullet right in your fucking face. I never liked those cloud bullet guys. I'm very bad. Like, I like that you can kill them. I don't remember if you could originally, but it's good now. But no, this game, this stage is designed for maximum fun. Blowing around clouds, killing bullets. I don't know what the fuck I thought was gonna happen aside from getting hit there. Now I'm just kind of, this is a paradise of hell, of complete nonsense. I'm just gonna keep blowing clouds around, catching another one. That's kind of run out. Now that was a dick move, game. That's just completely ridiculous. We're finally at Snake Man though. I don't know if Snake Man really had a weakness to air, but they made his fight a lot harder. Since the way that you fight, you're blowing around the platforms. You can't just stand on the middle one and chill there, and you can't, you know, survive ever. But it also adds like a depth to how his snakes move, since they're gonna, I don't know, they're not gonna move as fast if they're going, I don't know. They're moving at different angles depending on how you blow the platforms here, so you have to keep an eye on that. It's challenge that I fucking appreciate instead of stupid artificial bullshit like, oh, now you can't predict where he's gonna move. Fucking Needle Man. If they didn't fix Needle Man, this game's getting an official 3 out of 10. See, I only got hit once that time. If I had just maybe brought my A game the first time, this wouldn't have happened. I'm gonna stand at the top of the mountain. I have won, and I'm pleased. But we didn't unlock any fucking special weapons, which, that was the weakness of Day in the Limelight. Or did we? We get to unlock playing as Airman now. How about that shit? Now we're gonna save, because I want to forget that first file ever existed. Now Dr. Light's talking about that strange object That swirly thing. It would have been like, I think they might have, maybe they should like put the swirly thing there so they know, you know what they're talking about. Because I mean, they could have just been talking about playing as Airman. I don't know. But I think we're gonna do Hardman next. If you couldn't have guessed from that previous save file I had. Unfortunately, the designers did not make Hardman look like less of a Halloween costume. But I will say that I like playing as Crashman. He's our character du jour for the Hardman stage, and I like playing as him a little bit, not quite as much as Hardman, because with Crashman, you really have to be a lot more methodical. You have to think more about how you're approaching the stage. And watch this. Those enemies you couldn't kill in Mega Man 3, they're totally fucking killable with the Crash Bomb. That's a bold assertion this game is making, and I like it. I'm not saying that's canon. I called Inafune and I sent him illicit photographs of myself, but he has yet to respond if that is the case. I don't even... he hasn't called back yet, but I'm sure he will. The point is that using Crashman, you really have to think about what you're doing. You can't just throw a bomb. It's not like Airman. You can't just shoot the tornadoes willy-nilly. You only get one bomb on screen at a time. So think about how you're shooting it, think about where you're shooting it, think about the time it's going to take for it to explode. It's a different play style, and that's something I fucking like about the separate characters, is you have to kind of hone your skills and tone down on all the violence and the freaking craziness you usually are used to with Mega Man. You can't just shoot and expect, oh, well, I'll take care of it. You have to think about this for some fucking second of your life, you idiot. Just calm down and think. You gotta be a brainy boy, or else you... And I know there's something else that's gonna fall. I swear, one time I was, like, blowing up these things, and one of those big, like, hopping up and down enemies from Mega Man 3 came down, but I guess not this time. And this monkey, I remember him being a real trouble spot. So I think I'm gonna get him to fall in the... You prick! He's supposed to fall in the bomb, but I know how to get this taken care of. Just a sec here. Instead of using Crashman, I'm gonna switch out to Airman. Blow this fucker off the planet. Crashman, I want to stick to Crashman though, because I don't really like switching characters. I feel that's kind of unfair, but I'm gonna... I meant to use Airman. I didn't want to use the fucking E-Tank, man. Whatever. I'm used to, like, going down to select a new weapon in Mega Man 3. Well, I guess I'm glad I used the E-Tank, or I would have been fucked there. But I'm used to going down, so I went down and I was happy and I got excited. And I'll stick with Crashman, but that was... It was a bit of a flub up. I didn't mean to goof. And I wanted to hit this Pickle Man in his head with the bomb, but I just got a little lazy, I'm sorry. I know how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to drop the rocks on his head to damage him. That's cool, too. But I wanted to hit him in the head, because I know you can, because you gotta do it here. Or you could do it off the ladder, I think, but it doesn't matter either way. You can be crafty if you want, but I like getting a little dicey sometimes. I like getting into situations that I know are a little more dangerous. Like this. I'm just gonna fuck this monkey. I'm just gonna run away from him. Maybe I should have actually taken some time to actually kill him or something, but god damn it. Whatever. You get a healthy deal of places you can restart from. It's not like Mega Man 1 I think had fairly limited spots where you could come back. But this game's alright, man. It ain't too tough, it ain't too tricky. You just gotta be able to think your way out of some situations, and you'll be alright. And this time I'm gonna use Airman, because, look, I'm sure you can do this with Crashman. I'm not fucking dealing with it. I just like using Airman. Is that a crime? You'll find characters you prefer using as, and you'll want to use them more. I just try not to. But I'm gonna have to try not to especially hard, because I kept fucking up with Airman. That's why you shouldn't use one character. You can't just focus on one style of play, because you have to use all the characters. In their stages, there are spots that are tailor-made for them, and you need to just learn how to use them most effectively and most uniquely. So don't be dumb, just fucking work at it. Stupid. Get free lives. That's also a tip that I'm gonna give you. That one's for free. The rest will cost you. Like, the bees are bullshit. I'm usually a little better at getting the bomb to hit them, and I almost missed that health. I didn't see it in the explosion. But, see, like that, I just wanted to kill that alligator mouth. I wasn't thinking about the hammer Joe, but you can't do that if you're playing this game. This is for real men, you know, or ladies, real men, ladies even. Do whatever makes you feel the best. Play as the character that you think works, and fucking rock it out, man. That's what's so good about this game. The bit of variety, it's a nice touch. Like, 1-ups are good too. I've gotten enough to make up for my foolishnesses as Airman and Crashman, which is helpful. And I'm trying not to miss this idiot. This is the guy that was supposed to fall down earlier if you kept blowing up the blocks. I know I've had it happen, but maybe I'm just imagining things. I could actually be wrong, which is entirely illogical, I'm sure. But we're at Hardman, and you see the little rocks dropping from the ceiling. Well, clearly, what's that mean? We're going to be using the rocks as an attack. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to be real careful, real calculated with how you fire the crash bombs. You can't just fire them and expect them to hit him, because that ain't always going to happen. Like, if you're jumping to avoid him, you don't want to throw the bomb. If you're near some of the rubble, you don't want to throw the bomb, because it's going to catch on the rubble, might not hit Hardman. So you really have to focus. The best time to hit him is just when you're standing straight, and then focus on avoiding. You have to be careful. I like that. Don't fucking switch to another character. It's dumb. You can if you want, but I just think it's kind of pointless. I want to create some more rubble to stand taller, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. But honestly, I'm liking this fucking game. I'm really, really liking it. I hope I'm explaining it kind of well, but I at least hope that you're seeing the good parts of it too. Well, I'll see you next time, but I hope you're enjoying. Let me know what you think below, and let me know who you're excited to see next.